I'm Matt Roczynski for Hornets.com, and we're out here in Boston, Massachusetts to talk to the new Hornets head coach, Charles Lee. Charles, welcome. We are so excited to have you. How excited are you and how pumped are you at this moment?
You know what, Matt? Thank you for having me. Thank you for making a trip to Boston. I'm trying to keep all my emotions together right now, but I am very excited. I've seen everything that's been going on with the Hornets organization ever since ownership has kind of taken over, and I'm just thrilled that they're going to take a chance on me. And so I'm looking forward to helping build something really special in Charlotte with the help of ownership and Jeff and the front office and the coaching staff that I'm looking forward to putting together as well.
You know, you are a guy who's been wooed by a lot of teams. You've interviewed with other teams last year, talked to teams this year. What is it about this Hornets position that made it the ideal fit for you for your first head coaching gig?
Yeah, first things first. I mean, it's a talent-rich roster. I look at the young core that we have, and it excites me, and all the potential that there is there, and all the growth opportunities that there are on the team. And then on top of it, you add some great people that you get to work with. So knowing Jeff, having a background with Jeff, and understanding how good he is at his job and the people that he's going to surround himself with, and having trust and faith in the ownership group too, to put the resources into the team to make it be as competitive and as good as it possibly can be.
You know, you mentioned how excited you are to work with this group of players. You've been around, you've seen this team. How much are you driven by that excitement of point guard LaMelo Ball, Brandon Miller? When you compare those two in the backcourt, you're a backcourt guy. That's got to kind of excite you, right?
Yes, it does excite me. And you watch these young guys right now, and they're still trying to find their way of who they are in the NBA. And I think first things first, we just have to come with the right approach that every day we have an opportunity to get better. And so whatever that consists of for every player, we have to attack it and be obsessed with daily improvement. And I think that from what I've seen from those guys, they have that DNA. And that's why the Hornets decided to draft Brandon and to draft LaMelo, because they're the type of guys that you want to continue to build around.
You know, you mentioned that DNA. And when you look at this team, obviously you've had a chance to see the way that they play. When you do scouting reports, when you're looking at the Hornets, what do you look at as what are our strengths and what are our weaknesses in your eyes from what you've seen from the Charlotte Hornets?
Yeah, I see a group that just plays with a lot of energy, a lot of passion. I think that on the defensive end, we have to create an identity of who we want to be. I think on the offensive end, continuing to play with pace, play together, play with the pass, and also trying to give us a little bit of identity on that side of the ball too. So the biggest thing that it's always going to come down to, I think, is how competitive are we going to be? And that's a mental competitiveness, a physical competitiveness, and then also the component of how much are we going to do this for one another.
You talked about offense and defense. For those who don't know you, might not have known what your coaching style is. What is your coaching style?
I'm a well-rounded coach. I think that I have the ability to build relationships with players. They feel the authenticity of myself and what I have to offer, and the actual care for their game, for their improvement, and taking their individual improvement and kind of combining it with what's important for the team too, so that we can build some winning habits. And then on top of that, I think I'm a great teacher of the game. Understanding what are the details of trying to teach offense and defense. And I think I also just bring a level of energy and passion, and the guys I think are going to really take to that.
You know, passion is definitely there. You've been in this league for 10 years. You're only 39 years old, had 10 years as an assistant coach. And you've had some tremendous success with Atlanta, Milwaukee, all of those teams that you've now, Boston obviously where we're at, all of those teams that you've coached, you've amassed an over 600 winning percentage throughout your course of time. How much is that going to benefit you, and how are you going to utilize that to help kind of maybe change and build those winning habits in Charlotte?
Yeah, I've been blessed to be a part of some great organizations, be a part of some great teams, and a lot of that is the people that I've been around. And so seeing how the coaching staff every day come together and figure out what are the strategies that we need to implement for our team, technical, tactical skills on both ends of the court to help us be as successful as possible. And then I think it also helps being around a lot of different players. That now I can use the experiences of what are different personalities, who learns which type of way. Are they visual guys? Are they on the court a little bit more? Is it film? Is it whatever it is? I think that now I have a grasp for like different player styles and how they're going to actually absorb the information that we're giving them. And then that last piece is the experience of being in the playoffs, being being in some heated playoff series with a lot of pressure and expectations, but not feeling any of that pressure because you know you're prepared. You know that you've gone about your daily work every day and you're ready for the moment. And so I feel that way as a head coach now, that I've done what I needed to do as an assistant coach to prepare me for this day, and I'm really looking forward to it.
You know, earlier you had mentioned Jeff Peterson. You guys obviously had a history in Atlanta. When he told you you were getting the job, what was his message to you and what he expects from you?
Well, first and foremost, as soon as he told me that I was getting the job, my kids have now started this swear jar. And one of my very first emotions probably had me contributing to that swear jar. So was overwhelmed with joy, used some words of excitement that I probably shouldn't have. But after I talked to him, he said, "Hey, Charles, we got a lot of work ahead of us, but I'm really looking forward to being able to build this thing with you. And I believe in who you are as a person and as a coach." And after all the great pleasantries, we had to get down to business of like, what is it going to take, like you said, to start building some winning habits here, start building some more professional habits, and just create the right culture for what's going to be needed for this team.
I think we're going to tell the kids to let Dad slide on the swear jar on this one, if that's okay. I think this one warranted maybe a little bit of excitement. We were pretty excited about that. You also had brought up Rick Schnell and Gabe Plotkin and the owners with the Charlotte Hornets. They have talked extensively about wanting to turn this into a premier NBA franchise. How excited are you about the work they've done leading up until now, and with your conversations with them, where things are going to go?
Yeah, I think that number one, during the process, it was great to get to know Rick on a totally different level than when I was an assistant coach in Atlanta, and getting to know Gabe for the first time too was unbelievable. And I could just hear in their voice how much they want this to work and how good they want this team to be. I think for the Carolinas in general, knowing how much of a sleeping giant this fan base is, this community is, and I could feel it, and it got me even more excited. And I think that just so far in the time that they've bought the team, you can see that they are committed to winning, to creating change. And I think whatever the resources are, people-wise, financial-wise, they're willing to do it.
Yeah, our fans can sense a change, and I think I agree that there's that excitement that's building in Charlotte as we're on the come up a little bit and looking forward to seeing how that's going to go. How much do you know about the city of Charlotte? I know you've been there at least maybe 2 times a year, 1 time a year some years, but what do you know about the city of Charlotte though so far?
So I don't know very much. I am looking forward to learning more about the city. I've got to come for All-Star break 1 year when we got to coach the All-Star team. And it's funny that now it's all come full circle, because when we were here for All-Star break, we took our kids to the park. We went to Super Rica in one of the neighborhoods I'm not even familiar with. And it's just stood out for us. And so when we left, we were like, man, Charlotte's a really cool city. And we had such a great time. So now it's nice that we're going to be living there for hopefully the foreseeable future.
Just bringing things full circle completely. And again, you bring up the kids, fellow girl dad. So I got to say, how excited are your kids about this opportunity for you? How excited is your wife? The family's got to be ecstatic that Dad's made it to this next level.
Yeah, you know, Dad has made it, but I also feel like our family has made it. And they endure so much of what goes on in this business. And I'm just so thankful that they've been so supportive every step of the way.
For new Hornets head coach Charles Lee, I'm Matt Rochinski with Hornets.com. Thanks, Charles.
Thank you, Matt.